In a recent interview with SFX magazine, Sherlock creator Stephen Moffat suggested that he desires to bring back the much-loved British mystery series based on Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's world-famous sleuth, although he confirmed there are no immediate plans. Featuring Benedict Cumberbatch as the titular detective and Martin Freeman as his trusted companion John Watson, Sherlock gave a modern twist to the many stories explored in Doyle's classic books, even taking some liberty with the storylines, most of which landed well with fans. Following the books, Sherlock's rivalry with his arch-nemesis Jim Moriarty, Andrew Scott, comes to a high point in the finale of Season 2, the Reichenbach Fall. Throughout the episode, Moriarty makes careful moves to destroy Sherlock's reputation in what would be the final problem for Sherlock to solve. Eventually, in Season 2's shocking climax, Sherlock jumps to his death from the roof of Bart's hospital in a bid to save the lives of his friends, leaving both Watson and the fans of the show guessing about the character's return in Season 3. However, when the show returns for Season 3, the opening episode of the season, The Empty Hearse, fails to live up to the expectations or the hype before the premiere.
Season 3 fails to explain the show's biggest mystery.
From the start, Season 3 had the obligation to explain the return of the titular character. For a show that depends on its writing to explain away complex mysteries being solved by its protagonist, Sherlock was doing a phenomenal job up until that point. All this changed when Season 3's first episode, The Empty Hearse, fell short of giving a proper explanation as to how Sherlock could fake his death, much to the disbelief of his closest friend, John Watson. As Sherlock's return was imminent considering how things play out in the source material, the key to making Sherlock Season 3 a success lay in its ability to explain his return within the new setting extended by the series. Disappointingly, not only does Sherlock find an easy way out of the challenge posed to it by its shocking Season 2 finale, but it also tarnishes the legacy of the show, which ended with Season 4. Season 3 takes off with Philip Anderson, Jonathan Aries, one of Sherlock's dissidents, speculating that Sherlock is not dead. His speculation is mostly driven by his guilt, rooted in his belief that he played a part in Moriarty's grand scheme of ruining Sherlock's reputation. Much of Season 3, Episode 1 focuses on Watson's reaction to realizing that Sherlock is not dead, and his struggle to come back to terms with Sherlock's annoying but welcome existence in his life. The closest that The Empty Hearse comes to explaining how Sherlock survived the Reichenbach Fall is toward the very end of the episode. In a private meeting with Anderson, Sherlock gives away the details of his great plan to ensure that Moriarty's people believe him to be dead and spare the lives of his friends. He makes the confession in front of a camera, in what seems to be a clear attempt to dispel all conversations around the great sleuth's return.
Sherlock's explanation for the season to finale requires two.
However, while Anderson still takes a few minutes to process all the information and realize that Sherlock's story has some glaring gaps, the audience finds it too obvious that Sherlock is not prepared enough to explain one of its greatest mysteries. Clearly, Sherlock gave Anderson a story very akin to the fan theories that mushroomed after the Season 2 finale and disappeared from the scene before Anderson could interrogate him further on the factual details. It is important to note that, according to Sherlock's version, Jim Moriarty was being played by him from the moment his brother Mycroft, Mark Gatiss, leaked details of Sherlock's life to Moriarty during his interrogation. Sherlock's confession to Anderson is very well a plausible solution to the problem faced by the writers in explaining the death and return of its protagonist. But even the most plausible solution that the writers presented needed a great amount of disbelief, something that does not play along well with Sherlock's strengths as a show.
The Empty Hearse is to meta for its own good.
Apart from failing to provide a foolproof theory behind Sherlock's return and continued existence in the show's world, Sherlock also makes a big mistake by becoming too meta and trying to poke fun at fans. In The Empty Hearse, Anderson is seen running a club for Sherlock Holmes enthusiasts to discuss and decode the mystery behind Sherlock's death. One of the theories that prop up during one of the discussions revolves around Sherlock and Moriarty being secretly in love and kissing each other. This scene is an attempt by the creators to take a dig at the crazy theories fans put forth in anticipation of Season 3. Unfortunately, while Season 3 made a good attempt at deriving some fun and lighthearted moments out of the speculation created by the Season 2 finale, it failed to come up with something original and worthwhile. In an ideal scenario, it would have been better for the show to present a solid explanation while it pokes fun at the bizarre fan theories. Much to Sherlock's bad luck, it only achieves the latter through turning meta and blurring the line between fiction and reality. While Sherlock has enough fanfare to stir up excitement at the news of a possible revival, the dent left by Season 3's The Empty Hearse is one that the show cannot recover from, considering how important this particular storyline is. Naturally, there's a lot that can be done with the famous detective when and if Sherlock creators return with another season of the show. Until then, it can only be speculated what the world-famous detective would be up to in the study in his apartment at 221B Baker Street. All seasons of Sherlock are available to stream on Prime Video in the US.